At first I ask the people who are present to concentrate on their breathing, without necessarily forcing it. On inhaling and exhaling. No need to make big inspirations and big exhalations. Breathe naturally, without wanting to control it. Just watch your breathing. If you are very stressed, I recommend a deep inhale, then exhale with your mouth wide open. If you are very stressed, do not hesitate to do it several times. At the beginning you should not force. 3 times, no more. Over time, the more you do it, the more relaxed you will be. Okay, I continue. First of all, I ask you to focus on the breath. Inspiration and expiration. Without forcing, just look at your body. When the person is sensitive enough and concentrates on their breathing, they must also feel their heart in the background, which begins to beat with the rhythm of the breath. And you begin to feel the blood moving through the body. Yes, you can now begin to feel the blood circulating in your body. At this stage, you will use your imagination a little and you will see a large white ball which is in the center of the earth. A big ball like a white sun. It is the core of the earth. It is very vibrant and it gives off white light. And so this white light will come towards you. And you're going to start feeling tingling in your feet. It's tingling. It's a very white light that swarms under the soles of your feet. Then it's about to pass in the feet. Very slowly you feel a tingling. Then you feel your blood in the feet. And the white light interacts with the blood and it tingles and tingles. And you feel movements. And the light begins to rise and it passes through the ankles. Then it passes through the calves. Slowly it rises. And you feel at times like caresses. It's the white light that passes. The caresses rise a bit as if you were filling a bucket of water. It goes up and up until it reaches the knees. It gently passes the knees. It continues to rise. It is a very white and very sparkling light. Your body feels it. It goes up to the level of the thighs, and it sparkles. It goes up. Your blood is reacting. It's happy. It's joy. And it continues to rise. It rises. It happens at the hips. It's very white. It's very bright. And it continues to rise. It goes through the lower abdomen. And it's very white. It's really very sparkly. It is as if you had rising water, except that this water is light. Luminous water. And it tickles. It makes Frisians perfect. Or it even warms up sometimes. And it sparkles. But that's normal. It's very scintillating light. And it continues to rise. And there it happens at the level of the upper belly, and there you feel like a little resistance. Then it passes the diaphragm. The AC has passed the diaphragm and it is rising. And it is invading the lungs. And it's really joyful, and when it goes through your lungs you breathe a little differently. It's weird. It's a very interesting breathing. It sparkles in the lungs and it goes through the heart. And the heart is very happy with that. And the blood that is in the heart is very happy with that. It sparkles. You feel really good there. It's starting to feel really good. It surrounds the vertebral column. And it really is like a very soft silk. and it goes up. It goes up, and it comes to the level of the chest. It goes up again and it arrives at the level of the neck. And it arrives at the level of the shoulder blades behind and the clavicles in front. And you have light spinning at this place. It spins at the level of the collarbones and it's taking the shoulders. Oh, it goes down suddenly in the arms. Your fingers even tingle. It sparkles. You feel light flowing and filling the arms, forearms and hands. You feel your hands vibrating, tingling, twinkling. You feel in your blood that your cells are really very happy, and at the level of the clavicles it always turns. You feel there is heat. It moves, and it reaches your throat. You have something rising in your throat. It is the white light which rises and which rises and which rises. And it arrives at the top of the neck and it is taking the top of the jaws, the teeth, the tongue. And you feel that this light is very warm. It is very relaxing. To the point where you feel your jawbone is loosening up and dropping a little bit. And that the upper teeth practically no longer touch the teeth of the lower jaw. You feel it relaxes well and then is rising and it goes to the level. Oh, it's funny, it's just behind the ears. Inside the skull it swarms a little. There it is, something that happened. You even feel that the ears are vibrating a little bit. It heats up. And then it goes up to the temples. At the temples, and then you feel inside the skull too, it is filling up. It fills and goes behind the eyes too. It's funny that it's very bright, it's very scintillating and it's still going up. It's going up. It rises to such a point that the whole skull is full of this light which shines. And you genuinely feel that you feel really great and feel like a point above your head. As if you were connected above the head with a thread. You now feel that resort light, but you are still filled and you are full of light. Then you have like a ray of light that goes out into the sky. It goes very, very far. It is very powerful. It is still just as bright. It's a very strong light. It reaches up to the level of the sun. This ray goes to the center of the sun, and when it touches the center of the sun is happy. It's like a pulse of joy. So it's really very nice. It's pretty to look at, and then it continues. The ray starts from the sun and goes very quickly. And it arrives at the level of the central sun of your galaxy, and the central sun receives the ray at its center too. He is really very happy. He makes an impulse. There is like a rapid extension, as an extension of joy from the central sun in your galaxy. And then it goes out of your galaxy and it goes on through the multi-universe. That is to say that you have several galaxies full everywhere, but the ray it continues to advance and you will go out of this multi-universe with all these galaxies and you will continue. The ray continues. It is very white, still very bright. And it has not lost its power, it is still as it was very powerful when starting. And he arrives where the original central sun is. The one who first started the first impulse. It advances and it arrives in the central sun at the very center. Yes, it arrives there. There is also an impulse, and this impulse returns this ray, then it returns it in the other direction, like an acknowledgement of receipt. Yes, I know you are there, I love you too. And I give you back, I give you my love, and it returns this ray. It sends it back, and it goes back the other way, it descends into the multi-universes. It comes down to the level of your galaxy, from the center of the central sun of the galaxy. It's coming up to the level of your sun, and it's approaching. Oh, it's coming towards you. He is very beautiful, and he is going down on you, and it is amazing. He is much bigger than when you sent him. It was very small, it was a small wire, and there it is enormous. It is like an enormous, very luminous cone of light. And so this cone of light arrives above your head, and it's like a wave of light that invades you. And you feel it going through your head. It's very, very penetrating. It's very pleasant. It's love in its purest form. And it goes down, you feel that it is invading your skull. It's invading your eyes. It's invading your ears. It's invading your nose. It's invading your tongue. It's invading your jaw and going down your neck. And it floods the shoulders and arms. It goes down in the hands, and the hands vibrate very strongly. And this also continues in the neck, at the level of the collarbones, and it descends into the lungs. It floods the lungs. And the heart is really very happy to feel that it continues at the level of your entrails. And it continues at the level of your hips. It passes the joints, the hips, and it diffuses into the legs, and you feel that you are truly soaked in light. It's very, very bright, and your body, your cells, your whole body is filled with light. It goes through your knees and it goes through your calves, and you feel really, really happy. And it passes the ankles, it comes in the feet, and then ants and the soles of the ants' feet. Then a ray of light which descends and which descends and which descends in the direction of the center of the planet, and this ray of love poured back into the heart of the planet. And your lovely Earth will do the job of sending the ray back into the sun at the center of your galaxy, and to the center of the central sun, from the original impulse. And there is something happening. There is a white light behind your back, a very bright, very white light, that of the central sun which is there. And there is a ray which leaves and which comes, hitting your back. At your shoulder blades, and it goes into your shoulder blades. In the middle, really roughly between the shoulder blades. This ray is very bright. This ray is love that comes from the central sun, and it is coming. And it comes to the center of your rib cage. And if you are attentive, if you open your perceptions, you will feel that it is fixed in a precise place. And this precise place is the primordial cell, the cell without air. It is your etheric and immortal cell because it is not biological. It's your little voice that's there, in that place. So if you have no perception, you ask towards your body of matter. Please, body of matter, show me where it is. My little cell without air. And there you will have a perception, perhaps very small at the beginning. And later you will feel it a little better. And so the cell without air and gargling with this love center it from the central sun. So all this was only preparatory, and now we get to the heart of the matter. All this to prepare you to be in the state in which you should be permanently. Now I ask you to look at your little cell without air. You perceive it. And then you perceive your body, which is really very happy. It crackles everywhere, and then you smell your skin. The skin swarms. There you feel that your skin is truly the envelope, the container of your cells. And then after you look outside, and outside you're going to feel something, like a layer around you. And this layer has a kind of density, it can vibrate at times. But if you have enough perception, if you truly open up, you will really feel a density. While this state you are in direct connection with your little voice. Your little voice right now, it knows you're paying attention. And if you say to your little voice, and you say, please little voice, do you would like through my vehicle of matter to manifest you by a particular sign? And if you do that, if you are always attentive to your body and inside your skin and outside your skin, the three now at the same time, it's simple. In this state you can do it without problem. Ask your little voice. Show me, talk to me, give me a sign. And you will have a sign that your little voice will send into your body of matter. It is a sign that is particular to you. The little voice will use what is possible for it to use in relation to your vehicle. So it's not because a person has a pinch on the shoulder that his neighbor will also have a pinch on the shoulder too. He may have a vibration, a cold snap, or the body moving, or the finger straightening up. There are so many possibilities in this state if you are in total observation without expectation of anything. I said at the beginning that it would be good if you had this state permanently. And there, as you are in this stage, you say to yourself, yeah, it's easy in fact. But in reality, this state must be worked on in order to be able to maintain it in a waking state in everyday life. With a person in front of you, for example in discussion or washing the dishes or preparing dinner. So I'm simply going to ask you to slowly open your eyes while remaining aware of your body. On the level of the skin and on the outside, and you will see that as soon as you start to move a little, these perceptions will start to diminish, and as soon as you make an arm movement, for example, or that kind of thing, it diminishes even more, and then you lose the perception. So here I leave it to you, and you will realize this state of perception. Once you have understood the ins and outs of it, you can then return to this state, when you are in connection with your little voice, with your body of matter. When you are in this cognitive perception with the small voice, it is good to ask him to stay in connection as much as possible. And ask him to develop a method of communication. And this method of communication, as I said, it is specific to each person. It's up to the person to find out what works and what doesn't work in relation to their vehicle. And subsequently to develop this state of being in oneself in everyday life. When we are in communication with other people but centered in ourselves, if you are in this state of perception, then your small voice will be able to speak to you. communicate with you in a clear and precise way through your body by sending you signs and vibrations. If you are attentive enough, and that is why you must always remain in this field of perception. If you are attentive enough, then you can have a real dialogue with your little voice. Well, this exercise is over. I hope you liked it.